Hello and welcome to this Stock in Focus update for the WCM International Small Cap Growth Fund. Today I'm joined by Greg Ice from WCM Investment Management. Thanks for joining us, Greg.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Today we're talking about a stock called Zur Rose Group. Can you tell us a bit about what they do?
Yeah, certainly. So Zur Rose actually consists of a couple of brands underneath it, but basically what they are is they're the leading online pharmacy in Western Europe with a specific focus on both Switzerland and Germany. So the brand in Germany would be called Doc Morris, and this is literally a business that is focused on sending prescription drugs, over-the-counter or OTC products, in addition to health and beauty products, shipping them online to customers.
So direct to consumer.
Correct.
And what's the competitive advantage like in that space or for that business?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few regulatory aspects that really drive the moat trajectory of Zur Rose. So one of which, and arguably the biggest of which, is that starting in 2022, the German government is actually mandating that everyone be allowed to have and that doctors are required to provide electronic prescriptions. And basically what this means is that as opposed to today where people get paper prescriptions and have to mail them in or go to their local pharmacy, it will move to a digitized version where basically people can immediately order their prescription drugs or over-the-counter drugs online through their phones and receive those products in some cases same day, if not next day. And that's really a driver. And the other key aspect here is that in Germany, it's against the law for the pharmacies themselves to be owned by large corporations, which is really preventing the pharmacies themselves from moving into this online space.
And what about the culture within the organization? How does that support those sort of tailwinds and that competitive advantage?
Yeah, and there's actually a couple of companies that are competing in this space, but I'd say it's the culture that really does differentiate the two. So Zur Rose or Doc Morris, however you want to refer to them, they have been all about trying to create an open and shared ecosystem. And so they've taken the initiative of partnering with the German insurance companies, the German pharmacies themselves, and the physicians' offices, so that essentially they can create a win-win, win model for everyone, where the consumers will have the convenience of online, and in addition to the offer of an omnichannel solution, so that if a consumer wants to, they can even order online real time through their smartphone and go to a local pharmacy to pick up their prescription, say on the way home from their doctor. And by doing that, Zur Rose is basically bringing what might otherwise be a competitor in the way of the pharmacies into the mold with them, and that way really creating an overall ecosystem that wins and benefits everyone.
And how do they compete on pricing with traditional sort of, bricks and mortar pharmacy stores?
Yeah, well, that's another interesting aspect, is that in Germany, when it comes to prescription pricing, it's actually regulated. And because Zur Rose is actually operating from outside of Germany, what it means is that they can actually charge a different level of pricing and what is called a bonus, and in many cases undercut or compete with a more compelling pricing offer for consumers.
Great. Thanks for your time, Greg.
No, my pleasure. Thank you.